It's remarkable what just an extra 30 horsepower can do for a small plane like a 172. Because this 172 originally came with a 150 horsepower engine, and there are a few different 180 horsepower upgrades, but this has one of the most popular, the Penyan Aero's 180 horsepower engine and Cessna prop. Just 30 extra horsepower, but remarkably different performance. It can fly 130 knots, or about 151 miles per hour, compared to the factory 134 miles per hour. It can climb at 1,050 feet per minute, compared to about 645 feet per minute from the factory. The surface ceiling on a factory is only 13,100. This increases up to about 19,500 according to Penyan's site. What is very impressive is that that's higher than most single-engine airplane service ceilings. Now, one of the best advantages to this particular upgrade is that it increases the useful load by 200 pounds. So even after all the upgrades that this particular plane has, you're still going to have a useful load of over 1,060 pounds, which means you finally got a 172 that can carry 4 adults in it. Now, remember that these numbers are when the plane is at full gross. And most of the time, you don't fly at full gross weight, so these performance numbers increase. It can actually take off in just 400 feet, which is less than half of the original 865 feet. You can fly from any airport, grass strip, or backcountry. And all of these advantages come from just 30 extra horsepower. I've got a separate video about 180 horsepower upgrade, so please take time to watch that if you're interested. You'll find the link down in the description below. Let's take this plane up for a flight, and we're going to see how it flies, along with maybe even fly at approach so that you can see how these avionics help out. This plane is actually for sale. We've got a complete video about the plane, along with all of the details about it, on our website. You'll find the link to that in the description below. Push the mixture in just a little bit here. Run up on this one is 17. So we'll get it up to 1700 there. We're going to do right mag first, and then left mag, and then we're going to do carb heat. All that looks good. Suction looks good. Amps look good. So we've got all good numbers, and we should be ready to go. This departure is when you're going to notice the Superhawk conversion at the most. So we're going to smooth acceleration, positive rudder control, airspeed alive. We're lifting the nose wheel off at 60, climbing at 80. See, our climb rate is about 1,100 feet a minute, 1,200 feet a minute. So after our initial climb out, we're going to reduce the power a little bit and pitch for better engine cooling, so we're going to do our cruise climb at about 500 feet a minute. All our engine gauges are in the green, and we've got nice low engine temperatures. This plane has an EGT gauge, which is very useful for leaning the mixture for better performance and saving fuel. You just lean it until you reach peak, mark the peak with the orange arrow, and then enrichen the mixture back about 75 degrees rich of peak for the best performance. Enriching the mixture and gradually increasing the power up to 2,700 RPM at this altitude will generate just over 80% power. The indicated airspeed is going to be at about 138 miles per hour, while the true airspeed is at about 152 miles per hour, or 132 knots. The ground speed is going to be around 130 knots, which is a much higher speed than a standard 172. By trading in the Garmin 530, you can actually upgrade to a much newer GTN 650 or even 750 for a much lower cost. The Garmin GTX 345 ADS-B in and out transponder with Bluetooth gives you traffic and weather data in flight for free, which is very useful for any flight. Now let's fly the ILS-27 into Porter County Airport via Sedley. Starting to turn inbound, we're going to work on intercepting the localizer and the glide slope. Since we've got our tablet connected to the 345 transponder, we can actually get synthetic vision as well as be able to georeference the approach plate for runway 27.
2 mile final runway 27 at Kilo Victor Papa Zulu.
You can land this plane with any flap settings. We're going to go ahead and use full flaps for this landing. And this engine upgrade has a special advantage. Being only 4 pounds heavier than the factory engine, the flight characteristics remain just about the same. It's not nose heavy, so it lands like any other 172. With your full flaps, you can land this plane on any short runway. My apologies, I forgot to grab the zoom lens, but as you can see from this outside video, when you use the full flaps, you can land very slow and use very little runway. I want to thank you for watching our video. As always, we ask that you would please like our video. And of course, if you want to see additional videos like this in the future, subscribe to our channel.